Biggest what-ifs of NBA history. Kevin Durant was only 1 inch away from sending the Nets to the 2020-2021 Eastern Conference. There has been a great deal of what-ifs popping up like crazy in the minds of NBA lovers ever since. What if that KD was behind the line? How might the dominoes fall if specific choices or different results went forward? Let's peek at the absolute greatest what-ifs in the history of the NBA. What if Derrick Rose never got injured? When Derrick Rose went into the basket late in the Chicago Bulls' success in their opening finisher game against the Philadelphia 76ers in April 2012, he was known as one of the NBA's most brilliant stars. A year eliminated from winning MVP, Rose was then again the best player in the group that tied for the NBA's best record. That all changed when Rose went down due to a torn left upper leg tendon, which would sideline him for the 2012-13 season. Another knee medical surgery followed, and keeping in mind that Rose was in this way ready to return, he has never been a similar player, or ready to remain smart for whole seasons. Disappointment with those wounds could lead Rose to leave the Cleveland Cavaliers. ESPN's Dave McMenamin and Adrian Wojnarowski exclaimed Friday. As Rose rethinks his future, it merits thinking about what could have been possible if Rose had remained healthy. What if Kobe and Shaq got along? All through NBA history, there might be no more prominent power couple than Shaq and Kobe. At the level of their powers, they overwhelmed the association with an iron fist, bringing home 3 straight titles and catching the stunningness of millions around the world. However, off the floor, the dynamic was very different. Obviously, the two had issues in those days, which, in the long run, prompted their split in 2004. Talking on the Coaches Network webcast, O'Neal briefly described his relationship with Bryant and noted they were as yet ready to make progress amid significant differences. "I was playing with a more youthful variant of myself, someone that had a similar mindset. Often, folks stress over titles, instead often sing over specific things. We were both about whose group it was and who was the best player in the group. We had something important to take care of. Indiscernible brought home 3 titles in succession." What if Chris Paul went to the Lakers? Things could not have possibly changed a lot in New Orleans. The takeoff of Paul put them in a spiral. It wouldn't arrive at the end of the season games again until 2015, and the equivalent would most likely be valid here. They may be somewhat better with the augmentations of Odom and Martin. However, once more, not much would be unique. In Houston, the Rockets would have Kyle Lowry, Marcus Camby, and Paul Gasol, which might have potentially assisted them with getting to the end of the season games. The expansion of James Solidify the following year would have been an enormous lift for them, similarly as in our course of events. However, Solidify and Gasol in the same boat would have been a deadly hostile combo. Also, it wouldn't be excessively well before Dwight Howard would go along with them. Without Paul, the Clippers could not have possibly turned into the powerhouse that they did continuously. Houston, then again, would have likely tested the Thunder and Fighters for Western gathering matchless quality. At last, as far as we might be concerned, the whole NBA would look totally changed in the event that Paul had gone to the Lakers. The Lakers might have had the option to save their heads above water for somewhat longer and perhaps not consume so many lead trainers. What if Joe Johnson didn't break face in the 2005 playoffs? The Phoenix Suns had everything going for them in 2004-05. Steve Nash was working his direction toward his most memorable NBA most significant player grant. Amar Stoudemire was forcing his will to the tune of 26 focuses an evening. Shawn Marion was Dream B-Ball's most valued belonging. And Joe Johnson was a world-class marksman from behind the arc. That center, working under the tutelage of Mike D'Antoni, dominated a dumbfounding 62 matches, bringing about the 3rd greatest circle back in NBA history. Phoenix dominated only 29 matches the prior year. It was basically as fun as damnation, Nash told Paul Coro in an exceptional piece for the Arizona Republic. It was a major shock and loads of tomfoolery. Out of nowhere, you're a lap ahead. It's like, stand by a moment. We can't be this superior to the remainder of the association. You realized we needed to return to Earth, but at the same time, you're thinking holy. It was like, is this genuine? The Suns cruised in the initial round of the end-of-the-season games, clearing the Memphis Grizzlies, while Phoenix arose to win in 6 games over the Dallas Nonconformists in the second round. Not every person on the list had the option to get away from the series safely. Mavericks forward Jerry Stackhouse attempted to impede Johnson's dunk effort at the edge during the second quarter of Game 2, with Johnson eventually landing right all over after an abnormal fall. Johnson was determined to have an uprooted orbital crack over his left eye, keeping him down and out until Game 3 of the Western Gathering Finals against the San Antonio Spikes. Tim Duncan and company, who had a 2-0 series lead when Johnson returned, proceeded to kill Phoenix in 5 games. It's impossible that you can see me. We could never have been NBA champions on the off chance that I hadn't got injured, said Johnson. Why did the Pistons draft Carmelo rather than Darko? The Pistons might have had a future HOF instead. They got Darko Milicic. It checked out then because the Pistons had a high look-over exchange and were a season finisher group. The group had proactively had an extraordinary wing in Tayshaun Ruler. However, the Pistons should have been looking toward what was coming. Could Carmelo be great for the Pistons? Could they have brought different home titles? Or, on the other hand, could Anthony's play demonstrate interfering with Detroit's foundation? Melo is gifted. I figure he could make it work. What if Thunders didn't exchange Harden? The Oklahoma City Thunder had perhaps the best youthful program throughout the entire existence of the association. Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and Serge Ibaka were all under 25. In 2012, they had recently made the finals against the Miami Large 3 and lost 5 games, the roar for the following 10 years. Harden, Westbrook, and Durant might have overwhelmed the West. Could this multitude of players win MVPs? Presumably not. There is a situation where the 3 hotshots might have found a way to coexist on the court. Assuming the Thunder marked Harden rather than Ibaka, the NBA probably would have 3 distinct MVPs. The Thunder potentially would have been a line and an incredible record-breaking group. What if Kevin Love and Kyrie didn't get injured in the 2015 Finals? The Cavs were in the series without them, so imagine a scenario in which they win. That implies the group breaks the Cleveland title dry spell a year before schedule. The Heroes would make minor changes in the offseason other than the ones they initially made. The champions presumably don't go 73-9, and the 3-1 rebound in the finals won't ever occur. The 3-1 rebound doesn't occur, KD doesn't come to the fighters, and the dynamic of the NBA is changed. Alright everyone, that's going to do it for the video today. Make sure to comment below what if you think would have been the game changer. Also make sure to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell for more content like this. Thank you for watching the video, and peace.